Hey, welcome back to the table. I was very tempted to just clean up and start another campaign, uh, largely because I know I did so many things wrong in this one. I think my first 17, 18 videos of this, um, if you've made it this far watching the videos, first of all, you're a trooper, and secondly, um, it's really funny how some rules click for me and other rules I keep failing over and over again. So there's just a little bit of that. The second one is I'm pretty sure I'm losing. And when I play solitaire games, if I know I'm losing, I either cheat, which I know is not kosher, but I might do it just because I want to see how it plays out, right? Or I quit, right? Because there's no point in continuing. I'm getting to that point here where I feel like there's no point in continuing. And but with that being said, I do want to say a thank you to Jeremy in particular for giving me encouragement and telling me that he thinks that I'm ready. But he also encouraged me to play this out because I'm still learning some things. And he's right, because he just pointed out two things that I missed. And somebody also asked a third question. So let's get in and get caught up on some rules corrections. And one of them is something that I totally missed in the rules. And it's really funny because I remember talking about it and I just assumed. And that was really bad of me. And I know Sir Brastius told me to quit assuming probably 10 videos ago. So, okay. So first thing, an easy one. I put these guys out of supply, which was correct. But the problem is that means these guys are also out of supply because this one is exerting a zone of control and so is this one. And since they have the zone of control blocked off, I can't trace a path of 4 to a road. This guy would love to go this way, but because this unit's here, he's blocking off any supply opportunity for those two units as well. So I actually have, they're not, I keep misusing the terms. They're what are they? They're low supply. If I said out of supply or something like that, I apologize. This guy's out of supply. Okay. The next one, related to the same rule. By the way, this wasn't me getting a rule wrong. It was just me not seeing it. But thank you, because that's part of the game too, is you have to be able to notice these things and not skim over it. And it's funny, I was so excited that I got these guys cornered that I ended up cornering myself. Had either of these units been here, I could have traced my supply through a friendly unit, but that's not the case. Okay, so one of the things I can do is if I were able to move this guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's not enough. But I think you see where I'm going. If I can get a unit to go here or here, I actually can trace out of, and get supply. So all I have to do is get a unit to break up this this block. But anyways, I have 2 units, low supply. Oh, excuse me. I have one more correction with supply, and that's this guy. Unfortunately, to my sadness, this map edge is all allied friendly to the west of the west wall. So this west wall here, anything on this north or south map edge that's to the right of it is German friendly, to the left of it is allied friendly. So this guy has supply because he can just go right off the map. And that sort of blows because I was hoping to get rid of him by not having to attack him, but he's in my way and I'm gonna probably have to do something about it. Okay, so I think that covers the rules. And yes, folks, I think that's all the feedback I got in terms of what I got wrong. So it's all around the supply there. So thank you for that correction. Now, somebody asked, and this is a few videos ago, but they were asking how I took Bastogne without doing roadblock checks along the way. And that's a good question. I've probably forgotten to do bridge checks, 10 or 12 times. But in this one case, I think I actually got it right. And I can show you real quick. For your move in combat, it's got a nice little chart here. You do roadblock checks on turn 16, but then on turn 20, you only do it for VP hexes and nothing else. So after December 20th came around, I didn't have to check roadblocks on these two spots. I only had to check roadblocks for Bastogne because that's a VP hex. And that's how I was able to get into Bastogne the way I did. Now, obviously, things are a little wonky for me now because I need to push, but that's the situation. Okay, now, victory point check. I think we talked about this before, but I'm at 20. So right now it's December 23rd. I can easily finish today, and as long as I don't lose a victory point, and that would require me to lose a victory point city, I actually satisfy the requirements to make it to December 24th. Now on December 24th, the victory points goes up to 25. So I would need 5 more points by the end of tomorrow to keep it going. Now, can I keep it going? God only knows. I think a lot of people are telling me that my deal is up. And they're probably right. The Allied reserves are just pouring in, and it's becoming harder and harder to take anything. And then some of these elite units are so stout. I mean, I even attacked a few yesterday that I thought for sure I was going to win, and they didn't even take a single damage. So that's the part that's hard. The Allied impulses are becoming more frequent. The Allied air interdiction is brutal. We're having fuel issues. You name it. Things are stacking against us. So the time to take Bastogne, or maybe even Arlon, has already passed me. And maybe the time to go up north has already passed me. I don't know. All I can tell you is that I am just hovering over the I did not yet lose, but I'm almost there victory point level. My current strategy of just killing units did get me far, though. But it's not necessarily going to get me further. To get 5 points means I have to kill 10 more units, actually 9 more, because I already have one in eliminated unit box. I'd have to kill 9 more units to get the 5 points I need. I'm not sure that's going to happen. Now, I will tell you that there's some victory point spots, this guy, that I thought for sure I was going to take, and I didn't. But I do have some opportunity, not a lot. There's another victory point spot down here. But again, this guy's been so stout. I mean, he's just a single unit, and I've never been able to even damage him once. It's really frustrating, some of the stuff. But anyways, let's go ahead and get going. If I remember correctly, it is our turn, and we have not yet taken a turn this round. Because Allied interdiction, I think, caused us to lose our 6th Panzer Army card, which makes me cry. I really could have used that, because right now with a camp group, I could have done some serious damage up in the north there. Having a 6th Army card up there would have been just beautiful. I mean, my goodness. Put a camp group up there, I would be able to activate so many units and just do a world of hurt, because I could go across multiple corps. That was just an awful set of luck right there. Now, I do want to remind myself, because I don't remember, if they're low in supply, they just can't use a combat tactic for that unit. If there's other friendly units in supply, combat tactics can be played then. They may not exit the map, and they cannot be the lead unit in an attack. If they're out of supply, it's all of the same effects, plus can only move 1 hex if they're mechanized, may not attack at all. Defense strength is unaffected, meaning that they still get full defense. May not build an improved position, but retains any that's already in place. And if attacked, the enemy attackers get an extra chit, and they disregard an attacker hit. I'm so sorry, I had a really long week at work and I'm yawning here, and I'm so excited to play this game, but here I am yawning. Okay, so my cards are not very exciting, and I want to show this to you because I feel like I had an awful start. These guys, if you recall, I only have like 3 units in the entire core, and one of them's damaged. Actually, 2 of them are. They're hardly able to do anything. These guys are the guys basically I'm going to use to hold cities after I capture them. These are the red units up north. They're damaged really bad, so it's really hard to do something with them. These are the pink units here, which I could do something with, so I may. And then these ones actually are in a decent shape as well. So I'm leaning towards activating one of these. And then let me show you, that's these red units up here. The red units are good for reinforcing the yellow units or the 2nd Panzer, but they're not good for activating on their own, although I probably could use it to reinforce a battle or something like that. But okay, so I see 2 opportunities here. Both of them are pretty decent. So this first opportunity is we can take these blue guys and activate them, and see, this guy won't be a part of it because we verified that rule in the last video. We can take these blue guys and we can attack this again and get 2 victory points, hopefully, if we can knock him out. And the other thing that's going to allow us to do, it's going to open the door for putting pressure once again down here. I really do like that idea. We can do a reinforced battle, which would we can bring him up to help out again. It's not a bad idea at all. Basically, we're going to repeat the same battle we did that we lost. And basically assume that this time around we're not going to lose. That's basically what we would do. Okay. The other one we can do is these pink guys have not been very fruitful. However, we now have 2 more units here, as you can see. So they are going to add some significant strength. And if I did a assault coordination, I can have the pink guys attack here, and then these guys can join in. So that's something we could theoretically do, and then I would eventually push this one out and finally get to take some ground and maybe even cross this bridge, but I'd have to do a bridge demolition check, and I'm saying it now so I don't forget. So I hate this guy. I would like to get rid of him because he's just been such a thorn for me. However, the other one is 2 victory points, and I just think that that one is far better. Let's just put it that way. So, so we're gonna do that core, the blue core there, and then I can do a reinforced battle, and I actually have several choices. So, you can see here I'll do that, and then I'll use my red card to do a reinforced battle. And so we'll play both of those cards, and the reinforced battle is going to be these guys are going to come up and help take them out. One other thing, I guess some folks were pointing out that it's not technically surrounded if they can still trace supply through an ally. Even though I have all the zone of control completely around them, they're not considered surrounded in that situation. I think I screwed that up last video. I don't remember the exact scenario. Somebody was commenting on it. I did not go into the rules to verify what they were saying, but I believe them. You know, that's stuff I get confused about. I mean, I have zone of control completely around them, so I think they're surrounded, but there's this loophole where if they can go through an allied unit and still trace supply or whatever, they're not considered surrounded. And so that makes sense. Okay, so I'm gonna do this battle, and as you can see, it's a 4-chit minimum. He does have an elite unit, which is what killed us last time. And you can see there that it's on a city, basically. So or a town. So we don't get flanking bonuses. And he's gonna absorb a hit. So I am not playing any other combat tactics, but let's see what he's got. And we drew the British Army card, and you can see he's got air power. So the fun just gets funner. Okay, so how many are we gonna draw? Let me check real quick here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 for an elite. And I'm checking to see if we have any 3. No, we don't, because the one guy got injured. So we have an 11-chit draw here with a 4 minimum. So let's do the 4 minimum and see how this turns out. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so only defender armor. Let me check, what has he got? Oh, nope, he's got armor. So this one's out. This one's out. Are we greater than 2 to 1? We sure are. I didn't calculate it yet, but we're way better than 2 to 1. And this is what hurts us, is since he has an armor, 3 of the 4 are gone. So we've taken a hit and he takes a hit. So I can go all the way up to 11, but this is what burned me last time, is he kept getting D-1s. So let me count our strength. We have 4, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 20, 23, 29, to 7. So that's 4 to 1 odds. I know I'm going to regret this, but I'm going to go up to 11. So we're at 4. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. Is there a defender adjacent? No. Is the defender elite? There we go. There it happens. Is the attacker elite? Yes. There are no green units. Is there any artillery? No. Is it a flank attack? It would be. And there it is. Allied air power. Boom. So we're going to take 3 hits, and he's going to take 0. I'm ready to quit. I mean, I cannot win a battle right now. He's absolutely formidable, and I don't know what it is that I'm supposed to do. I mean, I guess I can try to cut off his supply. I just don't. I mean, this was such a waste, and I'm going to be applying 3 hits to my units. So I've effectively, the blue core is just done. Yeah, this is frustrating. Now, I don't know, like, it's not like I'm mad at the game or anything. It's just, I honestly don't know how I'm supposed to take this spot. I have it completely surrounded with elite troops, and I cannot even do 1 damage to him. I don't have any rivers. There's like nothing impacting me in any stretch of the imagination here. You know, so am I supposed to use combat tactics? Great. Which one would I have used? Artillery? I would have gotten maybe 1 hit. If he was low on fuel supply or even out of supply, that would have made it so we at least get to absorb 1. We can ignore a hit. We can. But his defense would still be full defense. And then only when he becomes isolated would it... So I would have to I'd have to basically surround the city and... See, now this is where I would cheat. I'm just being as honest with you as I can. So what I would do is I would revert this back to here. And then when I activated blue, I would have done this. I would have moved 1, 2, 3, like that. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would have done that so he's surrounded. And that's how I would change it. So I would not do any hits. I would revert my combat. And I would still activate blue, but I would change it to be this because I'm realizing I need to basically starve him out. And that's how I would play it at this point. My son approves. Obviously, that's not the choice I made, but that's how I would have adjusted it. And just to give you a sense of how I would play a solitaire game. But as it stands, we have to take 3 hits. And I'm going to go ahead and hit this unit. And disrupt the rest. Which doesn't help me at all. But I gotta avoid 2 hits. And it's now their turn, which makes it even worse. The U.S. 3rd Army, the 12th Corps, deploy the 80th and 5th Division Reserves. Believe it or not, there is 1 reserve unit, and so they will deploy. It's going to be this guy. Now I'm going to see if I can go from memory. It's got to be an empty hex. It can't be next to another allied unit, and I need to use the cheat sheet. Let's see here. That's right, it needs to be in proximity of a German, or proximate, and that part is not going to be satisfied. So then I think we're going to revert to method B. There is no well, hold on. That's right, we went through this before. That's not proximate. There's nothing proximate for the 12th Corps here. So it is a 5th Division unit, and there is no 5th Division out here. This is 4th Division here. That's 10th Armor, and this is the 80th. So it's its own new guy, so he's not going to go where someone else is. He's going to go in an empty position in the core area that's within 4 of a German and 3 of the Allies. Not in danger of surround with the highest HV. So right here is a 3. This one could work. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is another, let me back it up. That's another candidate. And this one. So I'm not going to get premature here. These 2. Technically speaking, this one is as well. Because it's still underneath the squiggly line. And it's within Allies and German. So then the tiebreaker after highest HV is westernmost hex. And believe it or not, it is that one. And then the tiebreaker after that is closest to a German. So we're going to put him there. Oh, and another update. Somebody clarified for me these ones that you see here and this two that I was asking about that's not really spelled out in the rules anywhere that I could see. Those are hold values, just like this. So when you're calculating hold value, you know, when you have to roll the dice in a combat to determine whether they retreat or take a step loss, this is a hold value. It's just that it's not a position. So these orange circles are positions that allies want to use for their AI, but this is a hold value, just like these numbers are here. So for example, when I deployed, I have to go to a position, this reserve. I would never use these to deploy my reserve, but these would be used in for combat retreats and things like that. So I thought that was very helpful. I can't even remember who finally clarified that for me, but I appreciate it, because that was definitely stumping me and making me wonder what's going on with those numbers. And it makes total sense, because you can see here that the hold value is a lot higher right along the river. It does make sense. So that's their turn. Thankfully, it wasn't that exciting of a turn. And we did get 3 new cards. Let me show them to you. So this one in the middle is the one we want for trying to break out of our situation. So that one might be good. We do have a pickle where I am now disrupted with one of them, but I could at least remove the disruption marker with him. And maybe we can draw another one later. Or we can do the pink strategy over here. This one I think is a good strategy, except I just don't think it's going to get us much. Although this is victory points here, and I would eventually like to crush this guy. But the way the rivers are, this is a very hard city to take. What I need to do is move to this spot right here and then come across the river so I can finally attack Edelbrook from a different direction and be on the other side of the river, instead of being trapped in all these zones of controls which prevent me from doing it. So I think today is the 23rd, so we have to always check for fuel, right? So you can see there that I'm okay. So I think this is the no-brainer. We're going to do this, but I just don't know what we're going to do with it. So here's our situation. Other than the parents being away on a week's vacation. This cannot attack, so I can't do anything with him. All we're trying to do is relieve him. These guys are full strength. They reinforced, and so they're nasty, and we don't like them. I could move this guy, but he's a mechanized unit, so he's only allowed to move 1 space now. And with the zone of control the way it is, he's actually trapped. So we either need to destroy this guy or destroy this one, and they're both tall orders, especially with this one being dispersed like he is. I can't even do anything with it. So what do? I think what I do is I need to bust him. We got to get some relief going here. So that means I'm going to move here for 3 movement. That's 3 movement, and then this is going to be 5 movement to get to there. So we're going to get this guy attacked here again. This stack, that stack, that stack. I can use a combat tactic because he's in the battle. Otherwise, these two would have prevented me from it. If I can bust him out, these two would at least get supply. This one is in trouble. But everybody else can at least get some supply. And we can finally get some advancement going on to push him away eventually. This unit here I would love to get rid of because he really is the trick to getting supply. More than even this one here. But it just is what it is. I mean, right now I can't get across the river to get him. It would be too hard. he's a full strength armor unit. So, okay, so I have assault coordination. That's not going to help me. I have infantry infiltration. Don't need it. I'm already flanking. I have combat engineers. That would destroy this. So I am going to play combat engineers, and that'll destroy his improvement marker. And I believe it also gives us a +1. Let me think about, or let me look that up. Oh, where are you? Combat engineers as the attacker. Remove an IP marker from the defender's hex, and we get to prevent them from getting one if they draw the tactic card. All right, so I have a fixed artillery, and the range is now 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to add fixed artillery to the mix. I can play 3 assault tactics, so as you can see, I'm really piling it on as much as I can. The assault coordination doesn't do anything for me. Infantry, so I played everything I could. So we got fixed artillery, combat engineers, and of course our main unit, main show here. So played 3 cards there. Here's their card. Excuse me. They got air power. It seems to be the thing lately, is them getting air power. Yeah, it is the Allies. The Germans really didn't have much of a chance there. Okay, so before I turn the camera, he is 4 pips. He was damaged, so this is going to hurt. He's 7 strength. We have 2 pips. And by the way, this gets destroyed because we're attacking. Three chits, 4 because he has 3 pips on him. 5, 6, 7, and then 1 more. So 8 because he's elite. So 8 chits maximum, 4 chits minimum. And then as far as strength goes, we have 3, 5, 8, 15, 17, 21, 25 to 7. So that's only 3 to 1. Jesus. All right, watch us get slaughtered again. 4 chits, 8 maximum. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Allied air power. Oh boy, look at that. We never draw those when we don't want them. Okay, so greater than 1.5 to 1. That is true. So we're taking 2 hits. Defender is adjacent. No. Is he dispersed or unsupplied? Yes, that is true. Is the attacker green? No, we got elites, baby. So right now we have 1, 2, 3 hits on him. And he has 2 hits on us, but we're canceling one of them. I need to check his out of supply. Oh, he's low supply. Oh, he's low supply. This air power does not count. I wasn't supposed to draw this card for him because he's low supply. So that is true. So mental note, next playthrough, or if some of you have not played this yet and you're going to do your first playthrough, surround a city or a town. By all means, surround them. Get that little low supply marker to show up on them. Because it really does make a huge difference when, because as you can see here, that combat tactic was going to cause a damage to me, and now I get to go and throw it away. All right, so I got to decide if I'm going to go up to 8. I really want to sit down and think this through. So I've done 3 hits to him, which I think is a really good draw for us. So I don't want to draw more, which would then cause him to not be able to take hits. So here you can see he's on a, he's in the woods, which does have a possibility of a D-1. Not quite as much as a forest would, but he would have to take 3 hits. So he has 4 pips. And so the first thing that would happen is we would have to roll a die based on his hold value. So we're not going to know exactly what he's going to do. But I can tell you that he's going to roll and he's going to get 2 plus his steps, which is 4 more is 6. And then he's going to add -3 because he's surrounded. So he's going to drop back down to 3. And then he's going to add 4 because all retreat routes would require a step loss, which is true. So that puts him back up to 7. And so if he rolls a 7 or less, he's going to just take a step loss. If he rolled a 8 or more, he would retreat, which still causes a step loss. That's the important note here. So he's taking a step loss no matter what in the first run. Now, depending on where that plays out, so let's say he didn't retreat, he's guaranteed 2 step losses, because if he retreats after the second time he rolls the dice, he's going to take a step loss then. So that would mean both units took 1 hit, but it doesn't mean they're dead. The good news, though, is that they would be out of there, and I would finally have a road for supply. Or would I? If he only retreats once, I would not. Oh gosh, folks, I think I have to keep drawing. I'm going to go up to 8. Let's see what happens. So, all right. I'm going to draw again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, we do have a flank attack, so we got another hit. What's the other side? Nope, we got the flank attack. Are we less than 4 to 1? We are, so we do take a hit. We're not greater than 8 to 1. We're not less than 3 to 1. So are we less than 1 to 1? Are we greater than 1 to 1? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to be taking some hits, but we did some more hits to him. So even if he retreats twice, which is what this would do, he would take 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, which is a kill. They're all dead. And one of those retreats, by the way, would have done a hit to him as well. So we did our job. Now, the next thing is this one is canceling that one, but we are going to take 2 hits. So 2 hits for us, total elimination for them. To be quite honest, that's a good outcome for us. I would have taken that outcome at the last battle we did. So, so we're going to completely eliminate him. And that's an elite unit and an armor. Yes, very excited about that. And that's another victory point for us. Okay, so we finally cleared them out of a very, very pesky spot. I am going to exercise these guys to advance to there. These guys could advance 2 spaces, but one of them has to be here. So they're really not going to go anywhere. And we just made a huge step. So these guys are in our way still, but now we got to do 2 hits. So as you can see here, I'm down to 1 pip on 2 of these units. This guy is super powerful. I don't want to hit him. This one's already been hit. These guys have taken a lot of hits. And then those are elite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this one once. And then we're just going to exchange disruption markers. For now. I think that's better than taking more hits. Okay, so I'm going to draw 3 more cards. And That's what we got. This one on the right being a really good one. And now it's their turn. Ah, there we go. The British Army is deploying all the core reserves. Okay, well, one of the things with continuing this campaign, and the reason I didn't start a new campaign yet, is that the British has a whole new set of rules. And I'll be honest with you, I skipped them. I never even read them. Because they don't happen until this late in the game, and I was like, well, you know what, I'll worry about it then. So let's open it up and see the section for British deployment. 9.6. Because they have their own separate deployment rules. Okay, so if a command card calls for a deployment of a 30th Corps, when no Corps units are on the map and no German units are proximate to west of the Meuse, place all the deploying reserve units in the hexes listed here instead of the normal method. So we got to follow this table. So if they were under German threat, then it would follow a different set of rules, which we're going to skip because we don't have to worry about that right now. And then ongoing deployment, we use a normal deployment process depending on the date, treating the unit as part of the U.S. First Army with the following adjustments. They have to be west of the Meuse, and they're not restricted by corps boundaries. There was another section we need to look at. Okay, so if the activation of the corps is called for when they have not been released to cross the river, the formation is not activated. Instead, go to the next command. Okay, so the British are going to basically show up behind the Meuse River, and they're not allowed to cross it until we get there. So even though that's a giant stack of units that's deploying, we're not going to fight them. And with the way I'm playing, we're not going to fight them the entire game. So they're going to be over here on the west side of the map, and they're just going to be having some smokes and singing Christmas carols. So you can see here for 11.82, so the rules are sort of all over the place. No wonder I always get them wrong. Units of the Corps may not move or advance into a hex east of the Meuse River until the moment a German unit enters a hex adjacent to the river, or December 26th, which is much later in the game. We're currently on the 23rd. So I guess it's not that much later, but it's still quite a few turns. When neither of these occurs, they may move anywhere on the map. Then there's an exception. Of course, there's always an exception to the rules, but we'll worry about that later. Okay, so that's the situation with their deployment. So we just need to follow this table. So unfortunately, the spot that was always clear for me to lay player aids and stuff is no longer going to be clear. So let's get these units out and figure out where they go. That's the 29th Armor. He's going on hex 1126. And like I said, these are really hard to read. But 1126 is right there. And then the 33rd Armor is going on 1226. And then the 43rd is going on 319. Holy cow, that's another part of the map. It's somewhere up here. Right there, I don't know, were you able to see? Yep, you can see. Okay, next one. The 34th armor is going on 1427. Man, I can't see the numbers. That's right here on Give It the City. 53rd is going on 826. 823, 4, 5, 6. This is the 424. This is 117. That's way over here. 1017. 3, 2, 0, 117. I think it's Liege. It's really hard to read those numbers. Okay, GA here, 422. 214, 420. They're lighting up the Mary Jane over there. 53, 927. That's there. And then this one's 927. The other one is 626. Right in the city. Okay, so that's probably a bit much to make you watch, but that's where the British units go. So they spread basically all across the river, and they more or less stay there for 3 more days. So that's their turn. So it's back to us. And I guess we're going to do this, because why not? That is a nice thing to do. So just to take a quick gander, we have 2 stacks here that are not next to anybody, and then this one here is behind the river. So we could move this one here and try to take on that stack of 3, which I think is a little bit of a suicide run. Or we can just move in and then try to take this stack, which was very difficult. The last time we attacked them, they're also in a forest. We could try to take on this stack, which is close to being destroyed, but there's an improvement position there. And I think it's gonna, I do have an assault coordination, so we can get somebody to help us. I also have a combat engineer, so I can destroy the improved position. So let me think through this, and that's all we have. We actually have Panzer Battalion, but I'm not sure how helpful that is, considering this is a Panzer unit. I do have infantry infiltration, so I can get flanking. I need to look up assault coordination. All friendly units participate in the attack. Ooh, that is a sweet daddy move. Okay, so we're definitely going to do this. We're going to do assault coordination, because now this stack of units and this stack of units will attack him. And then I'm going to go ahead and move forward with this one. I got to choose between one of these. It's like 6 or 1/2. This one is not going to be fun battle no matter which way I go. If I did take this unit to here, I could at least get an extra pair of hands against that. It'd be nice to attack these units to get them out of the way because, like I said, we're sort of trying to swing through the north. And there's a big part of me that just doesn't care that these guys are here. So, so then the question becomes, what do I do with this guy? And I'm tempted. So Piper is at risk of being surrounded. So I'm tempted to just move him up to protect it, but then he's going to be a target for a serious attack. You know what? I'm going to move him here so that way Piper at least gets some strength. Okay, so assault coordination is for sure coming. That's this card. These little division cards, they're interesting. They don't cost a lot of command, but they have some really nice tactics on the bottom. So that's going to be assault coordination for the first battle. And then I'm also going to add combat engineers. This guy. And that's going to destroy his improved position. And I'm going to attack this one. And here's what I'm going to do. Only one unit in this stack is actually going to participate in this battle, and I'm going to let those 2 units be the strength for this. The other 2 units in this stack are going to support this unit with the battle here. That's how I'm going to do this. I am leery, because these guys are in a forest, and there's so many tokens that support the forest, and we haven't drawn many of those, so I know they're coming. As far as what can I do to help them, I am going to play a 3rd card, because I can. Infantry Infiltration, so we at least have them flanked. So, excuse me, that's my plan. So now I got to determine which of these units is going to attack this one. It's going to be the injured one here with only 3 strength. We'll let him be the one. And makes me think I should put him here. I'll go ahead and do that. Piper's pretty strong. He is getting a lot of units coming in on him, but okay, so we're going to start with the top one. He's in brackets. I'm just making sure bracketed units don't have any zone of control, may not attack, does not add to the chit draw. Okay, he still gets a card. Ooh, so it's a 21st Army Group card. So he's getting artillery and air power. Jesus criminy. Okay, so artillery and air power. And the 21st Army Group, I mean, does that mean he gets a... No, that doesn't mean he gets a hidden unit. It just means he gets 2 tactics. Okay, well, I guess that's better than us getting that as part of their impulse, right? All right, so as you can see, it's a 1 chit minimum. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that last one is 6. So 6 maximum. I don't think we have any 3 chit units. But we do have an elite, so 7 maximum. 1 minimum, 7 maximum. We have combat engineers, and we have, that's it. 1 minimum, 7 maximum, combat engineers. They have artillery and air power. The one good news is I saw a lot of artillery ones already get drawn. Here's the 1 minimum. The defender is actually elite. So that sucks. Well, I guess we're going to the maximum, 7. 1, 2, and then everything goes back in. Defender's adjacent, so we're sucking wind. Is this the 5th Panzer Army or Allied attack? It's not, it's the 6th Panzer Army. Allied air power, of course! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is it broken or clear? No, of course it's a forest. And he's going to get some more advantages. What's our strength to his? His strength is only 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13, 17, 20, 23. So we're 10 of, all right, this helps, this helps. This helps. That doesn't. And there it is, combat engineer. So he's going to cancel 1, 2 hits. He's doing 3, 4 hits. Oh my gosh. So we did 4 hits. He canceled 2. So that means he's going to retreat twice because we don't have him surrounded. And yeah, he's always going to retreat as long as our hits equal his steps or greater. So the fact that he canceled 2 hits is a real big bummer. But he's going to retreat twice. We don't get him. His first retreat is going to be here, and then the second one wants to go the blue arrow, so then he goes as close to the blue arrow as he can, so he'll retreat to there. And then he gets disrupted. Not that it matters much. So we can choose to move in, and I'm going to do this for, I mean, he would move in and then do a second move there. Actually, he can't. Nope. You get to ignore zone of control when you're doing the advance. So then these guys are going to move in there. But now is the hard part. I got to do 3 hits. So this is 1. I have to do 4 hits, didn't I? 1, 2, 3, 4. Holy cow, this whole crew is nothing but damaged units. That's why I'm losing, folks. I have nothing but damaged units. I'm running on fumes here. And I don't know if you noticed I did a hit. So basically with 4 hits, I apply 2 hits to my units and I disrupt everybody. That's how I resolve that. So now we're going to do this one, and you can see there's a minimum of 4 chits. And we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 6 because of the elite. And I think that's it. Now we're at 10, 14, 17, 20 to 6. So it's only 3 to 1. So 4 hits. I'm sorry, 4 minimum. And I think we said 7. No, 6 maximum. And it's 3 to 1. So here we go. 4. This particular one, we have flank. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. I gotta draw a card for him. It's the first army, so we're getting sort of lucky here. Artillery and air power, yay! So defender gets artillery. He's in the forest. Oh, look at this. Oh. Hold on. I said he was in the forest last time. I'm pretty sure I did. I was doing the wrong battle. This guy was in the clear, which was this situation. So he takes a hit and is destroyed. Now, unfortunately, we take another hit. But that was the situation. So, okay. So we're going to lose a unit. But so does he. So that's another victory point for us. And then I'm going to destroy a unit. I think it's going to be one of these red ones because The red ones are so weak already, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say goodbye to him. That's our 4th unit loss. But yes, we at least destroyed him. Okay, getting back to this. Okay. Large attack requires 7. We're only going to be able to draw 6. Allied air power, yes. Defender artillery. They've currently done 2 hits to us, and they're going to prevent 2. Yeah, it's over. We can draw 3 more, but fine. Let's get ourselves destroyed. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that! More Allied air power. More woods. Actually, if they're not woods, they're forest. Oh yeah, it's a D-2. And the defenders are elite. Look at that. Oh my gosh. So we take 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Okay. I'm calling it. I cannot win this. So I hope you guys forgive me if you were at the edge of your seat with your popcorn wondering how this is going to turn out. Let me just tell you, it's not going to turn out good. I'm going to take 2 more hits with my only strong full health core that's here. I'll take 2 hits, and then the other 2 hits will be because they get disrupted. Okay? So I'm going to be disrupted across this entire edge of the map, which means I'm exerting no zone of control. And I'm basically out. Now, I do still have a lot of cards I can potentially play this round, but I am so damaged. I need 3 more victory points before the end of tomorrow. So I actually believe I can pull that off. I think I can get through today and through tomorrow and get 3 more victory points. But the thing I'm trying to explain is I'm going to be very wounded, like to the point that I'm going to have to spend like a whole day just repairing. And if I spend a whole day just repairing, guess what I'm not doing? I'm not scoring points. So this is getting to a point where, yeah, the game is basically clamping down on me. And I think I can make it to Christmas Day. And I might lose on Christmas Day. But I don't think I'm going to make it past. And then look at this situation over here. Look at the reinforcements coming out. This is all allies. We do have a big stack coming out on Christmas Day. So these blue units would be getting some love, which they much need. This purple core that's been useless so far would get some love. And then the red core would get some. But let me think about it, and no, I think I am going to call it. The other thing I'm looking at here is, I mean, just look at these stacks of units. These are all allies, folks. This looks like it's more of the, yeah, this is more of the, like the 101st or the 8th Corps, which we have shattered quite a bit. Yeah, it's definitely bleak. Okay, so I will need some time to get the campaign set up again. I am going to do a second playthrough. I'm going to start right away. I'm hoping to start tonight, in fact. The couple of things. Since I've been playing this, I've learned, obviously, on Board Game Geek, the nomenclature of German solo versus Allied solo. You sort of have to differentiate between them. And so this video series has just been called Rules and Playthrough, which is how I call every video series. I'm going to make sure I put GS Playthrough And so I'm going to create a new one. It's going to be called GS Playthrough. I might even make it its own video series separate from this one. So if you're looking for it, just understand it might be somewhere else. Second thing, strategy-wise. Obviously, I got to make the most of my early turns. I think that's something you definitely learn from this game. The second one is I think these last couple rounds have taught me immensely the value of surrounding and getting your zone of control where you need to. Because I think, you know, just running up and facing off against the enemy is, it's not going to always work. Because as you can see, they were stout the entire time. Well, this same stoutness I'm running into here, I'm running into it up there, I'm running into it down here. So if I can get somebody surrounded, I think that is most certainly the way to go. Now in that early couple of turns when I have all the advantage going my way, I may not want to surround then. That's when I do want to punch through. But I think in the long run, my strategy is to get people surrounded. You know, I'm an old, I've played a long time the computer games, and Hearts of Iron is one I've actually played quite a lot. And so my strategy in that game is always to encircle. You know, encircle the enemy, cut them off. And I was trying to do that in this game the entire time, and I can't. This is not an encircle the enemy kind of game. However, it is a surround the enemy kind of game. So I think that the map scale is too small to be, you know, when you're playing Hearts of Iron, it's the entire map of Europe, of course, actually of the world. But you know what my point is that so it's easy to encircle somebody when you're dealing with thousands of miles. This isn't thousands of miles. These are, you know, I don't know what the scale is, but it's a couple hundred miles, I'm guessing. Maybe even just 50. But the point being is there is no encirclement in this game. This game is about surrounding and cutting them off. So that's my takeaway. And yeah, it's going to take me a while. This game takes this is not as bad as D-Day Iwo Jima to set up, but I want to make sure I do it right and I have pieces everywhere. But I thank everybody so much for getting me to this point. I actually have a lot of stress starting this second campaign because I want that one to be smoother, and I'm worried it won't be. Now, my other warning to you guys is I am going to go through the rules again because I want it to be a teaching video. And so if you're anxious to see how it goes, you might have to skip through the first video or something really quick because I might be going a little slow for your liking. And anyways, thanks for watching. As always, stay awesome. And you have been awesome with helping me through this. But yes, I'm calling it. I'm waving my white flag and I'm sending my troops home for Christmas. So thank you.